this is Steve Feldman, Floor Covering News, for another installment in our unique series, Retail Recovery Across America. Today, I'm here with Elizabeth Stubbs, Enhance Floors and More, Marietta, Georgia. Elizabeth, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
First, tell me a little bit about Enhance Floors and More.
We do almost exclusively residential replacement. We're working directly with the homeowners. We do flooring, kitchen and bathroom remodels, staircase remodels, window treatments. So we do as much for the homeowner when they're doing an update, as possible.
Who's the customer? Is it a high-end customer, middle of the road, combination thereof?
Medium to higher end. We're in an area that is relatively affluent, so it's husbands and wives that generally are older. Probably typical customers are at least in their 40s. We have them in here in their 70s and 80s, sometimes, and we're working directly, with the homeowners. Sometimes they've been in the house for a very long time and need to update. Sometimes they've just bought a home, but there's a lot of, housing activity in this area, both new and resale. We've been in business 35 years. My husband and I own the company, so we've weathered some ups and downs.
Regional owners?
Yes.
Wow, long time.
Yeah, this year's been a weird one, though.
I'll bet. Let's talk a little bit about this year. This virus hit, I guess, mid-May. Things started getting a little funky, a little weird. Tell me about business this year over last year, say up until the end of March.
We started out really strong. January, February, March, we were running almost 20% ahead of last year. As the virus became more prevalent in Georgia in March, everything came to a screeching halt. We pretty much had mandatory shelter in place for the entire month of April and have only really been able, once we got into May, to begin to get out and people do things more so than just going to the grocery store for food.
Were you closed the month of April?
Yes. We started out thinking we would do this for 2 weeks and that would be all we needed to do and this would go away, and 2 weeks was extended, and this was government mandates by the governor. It wasn't this seems the right thing to do. It was like you only essential businesses could be open. We skirt being an essential business. We know we're part of the construction trade, but there was no demand. There was really no point in trying to be open, spending money to drive traffic because nobody was getting out and doing anything.
What did you do during that month, maybe to prepare for this recovery that we're in the middle of right now, or maybe just starting right
prayed a lot. We did the PPP program and also the economic disaster grant, and I spent a lot of time learning about that. Did a lot of newsletters because we've got a large newsletter base of repeat customers that we send information out on. We did one that was all about cleaning tips, so that that were coronavirus related, how we were going to work with them virtually. So did a lot of reaching out to our customer base on emails as well as on Facebook.
So you stayed connected throughout that time.
Mm-hmm.
So then Georgia opens up beginning of May.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about business throughout the month of May. People coming into the store, did you see an uptick? Do you feel that there's pent-up demand? Do you feel that the people that didn't buy in April that may have bought are going to buy May, June, July? Tell me about May.
The reopening of Georgia was very controversial. Many people thought it was too soon, and some of the businesses that were allowed to reopen first were bowling alleys, tattoo parlors. There was a lot of negative publicity of what the heck is Georgia doing? Have they lost their minds? So even though we were open, people were still very, this is crazy, I'm staying in. We are working with clients by appointment only. We're letting them know we're only allowing one client in the store at a time. We're stressing, wearing masks, hand sanitizer being available, even gloves, so that to be honest, we're not having to do as much, wiping down of samples. They can wear a glove, and that way we're not, some of it is just perception. If they feel like everything is safe and we're concerned about their safety, they feel comfortable. So we've had clients, once we reopened, which was, the early part, of May, it's not as busy. The traffic counts aren't as high as if I were comparing to last May, but they're strong leads. They are coming with a purpose. They're coming with specific, projects in mind. And, so we feel like, there's definitely going to be, business written, from the people that are coming in now.
So you're expecting a much higher close ratio?
Yes. We're getting a lot of repeat customers in, which I think is a combination of first staying in touch with them, via the newsletters, but they're comfortable with us. They know us. They know we're family, so if you're going to, go out and go shopping, they feel okay coming here, as opposed to a big box where you don't know what 90 people have already been in and out of there coughing and carrying on, already that day. And one advantage, I will say, is of a repeat base, or the fact that, people are being very selective about where they're going. I don't think we're going to have I'm getting 7 estimates on this project, because you don't want to go to that many places, or you don't want to have that many people coming in and out of your home.
What about installation? Are customers a little bit apprehensive about having installers come into their house right now?
Yes, since we do residential, they're occupied homes, and our customer tends to be older. We have a pretty decent percentage that may be in the higher risk group. They're not comfortable with people coming in and out of their homes right now. We're installing more carpet than hard surface, and I think a lot of it is because that is a quicker in and out. On some hard surface jobs, we could be on 3 or 4 days, so that's a lot of time somebody's in your house, where most carpets are, 1-day jobs. We've got a lot of product sitting in our warehouse that has signed off on, they've paid for, that they're just waiting until their comfort level is good for, people to be coming to their home.
If people want to buy and install later, what are you requiring them to pay up front? 50%?
We always do a 50% deposit, and 50% gets me enough to, pay for the product if I'm sitting on it, and the bill comes in, and they know it's non-cancelable. That's nothing different or new. It's very clear in our contracts that
Gotcha. Once
we order it, it's ours, which means it's theirs.
Gotcha. So that's something you would suggest for any retailer across the country: get 50%
Yes.
up front if that customer wants to install later.
Correct.
Okay. Have you been doing anything different since you reopened at the beginning of May? In terms of terms, sales, anything that you would be doing differently today that you may not have been doing at this time last year, or maybe not even like 3 months ago?
We're maybe a little more aggressive on our pricing, just because we know there's not a high, consumer confidence level right now. A lot of our big projects are on definite hold, because we can do bathroom redos that the price point can be, $25,000. Those are just kind of sitting in a holding pattern. I do a lot on Facebook. We try to post, if not every day, every other day, and in fact, when we were down in April, I did a lot of informational posts where it wasn't trying to sell something. It was actually using a lot of our frequently asked questions handouts that we have, where I would do a snippet, every day, so that people that were thinking about it were able to do a little bit of education in their downtime, so that when they were ready to, proceed, they knew a little bit more about what they were looking at, which again kind of goes back to comfort level. And instead of spending 2 hours in here looking at everything, you come in and have narrowed down your search on your own. We steer them to our website, trying to get them to do as much in advance as well, so that they are a little bit more organized when they come in.
Tell me about some of the manufacturers that have really stepped up for you big time over these last couple of months.
Mohawk has been excellent, Mohawk and Shaw, but we're a Mohawk Color Center, so I'm we work real closely with them, but they have been fabulous with extended terms. They did a very early on seminar about the PPP programs, which was really did a nice job of, this is what you need to do. This is the information. They did a lot of homework so that I knew what to do to be able to apply and get these loans and grants. But Mohawk has been excellent. William Byrd is another, their distributor. They do probably Palmetto Road is probably one of their biggest brands.
Private label.
Yeah, probably exactly. But William Byrd has been very, very supportive. Dreamweaver Engineered Floors is a good vendor for us.
What's special about them?
I'm gonna say they're a price point. They do a really good quality product at an affordable price.
You can
point.
make a good margin on that product.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
In hard surface, Mannington has been a good partner. We still sell laminates. We never quit selling laminates. But Mannington, but in both LVP and the laminate, Mannington's been a really good partner.
Being that you were up 19% through March, safe to say, by the end of May, you'll at least be even from last year?
I don't think by the end of May, just because we haven't had as many installations happening, and that's when we book the business, is when it's actually installed. I think by the end of June, we should be flat, and unless we get just a tremendous spike in cases, we should by the end of year be maybe not 19-20% ahead, but I feel like people are going to do the work. Yeah, it's not like it's going to go away. Yeah.
A lot of pent up demand out there.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking people aren't taking vacations.
Yeah.
They're going to do a lot of home improvements. I think that's going to happen all across the country. So I think it bodes well for this industry. Do you?
I mean, a restaurant, if you don't eat out tonight, they don't get that money back. It's gone forever. For us, if you don't get those new hardwood floors next week, you're going to get them in a few months. So it is postponed, but it's still out there.
Elizabeth, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Again, this has been Steve Feldman, Floor Covering News, Retail Recovery Across America.